all those hard-hitting questions coming to life. And we are live?
We are live. Oh, whoops. Way to go, Tom.
I know. It's always a surprise when you go live. Everybody, Tom, Britt, and Scott Fadness, Mayor of Fishers, coming to you live from Clear Object here at Fishers.
Very cool office.
I had to sign the NDA and blood samples and everything else to get in here, but
wait till you see what you have to do to get out.
Well, this is part of our monthly check-in with the mayor, and actually, I think the last couple times you had to do something else. I think you were inoculating kids in Burma or something
like that, doing my hair.
Visiting retirement centers and talking
I don't know
about
where
veterans.
I was. Yeah, that's right, I was. Yeah, I was at a veterans thing. Yeah, that was a great event.
But a lot of stuff has happened in the last year, and the big announcement this week was about this development right over our shoulder with Browning Investments, a $157 million investment going in. What the heck is going in behind us?
Yeah, so this has been something we've been working on for a couple of years, actually. When Michelle Archer from Archer's Meats over here came to me one day and said, hey, my husband and I we just can't keep doing this business any longer, and we want to sell, but we want to work with the city to find a developer that will come in and do the right type of project. That's when we started the conversation about, well, what could we create in downtown Fishers? And over the course of a year, we kind of assembled different components of a project. So yes, it's a $157 million total development, but there are different aspects within that development. So the anchor, which we're so excited about, David Becker's First Internet Bank, locating down here with 170,000 square foot headquarters. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
And they're right now over there by IKEA.
Yeah, exactly. And they were outgrowing that space. Their bank's doing exceptionally well, and so we love having that because you're going to have people working downtown, which always helps the retail and all that. So we're excited about that. And then one of the things I've heard a lot from residents over the years is they would like to have a higher end kind of boutique hotel. It's great to have the ones that you would normally see kind of along an interstate. But when you have family come in for a wedding or there's some sort of an event, it'd be nice to have something a little different, like a full service where you have a restaurant and all that. Right. So when we started laying out that space for First Internet Bank, a lot of synergies between the large corporate headquarters and the boutique hotel. So that kind of steamrolled into, okay, let's do that. At the same time, as we look back here, behind the Nickel Plate restaurant in that area, has been pretty depressed area for a while. I mean, there's abandoned homes over here and the old blue shed back there. So we were talking to Rick Lux, who owns that property, and he said he was ready to sell that. So then we started putting it all together, and lo and behold, this last week we had the big announcement. But I think it's a great chapter 2 to downtown redevelopment, frankly.
Yeah, and I think the big question is Nickel Plate restaurant, is that going to go away or not, the bar, restaurant?
Yeah, so what we decided to do as we looked at, this whole development area is the Nickel Plate building and the 3 or 4 older little brick buildings right here. Yeah. We really kind of thought that was the historic nature of downtown Fishers. We wanted to keep that character, and so in our economic development deal, we actually preserved those buildings, and we even set aside some money to rehab them, to recondition them so that they can stay, because a lot of them are in pretty tough shape. So we're going to be able to do that. Now, whether the Nickel Plate restaurant continues to operate in its current form or not, that's really up to the operators, but there's nothing in the real estate that would take them out of there. So I'm always reluctant to make commitments for a business that I don't own long term. But the fact of the matter is the building that sits there today will still be there tomorrow, and hopefully we can even put some money into kind of fixing them up a little bit, stabilizing them.
Right, and you've also got, so you got the trail, the Nickel Plate Trail, which will be right outside here as well.
Yes, exactly.
They would be in the cat seat.
I think so. I mean, I think with the trail being right here, you could see a scenario where someone goes for a run. Like, I'm the type of guy that when I go for a run, somewhere in between, I'm probably going to eat a tenderloin, right? I mean,
I'm going to say you're going for a run.
Then you stop at the Nickel Plate for a tenderloin. That's how I roll.
That's the kind of run I like to do too.
Yes.
You just run from tenderloin to tenderloin. So how big is this going to be? I mean, how far back does this go?
Yeah, so it's big. It goes from 116th to North Street, so it'll go all the way back to North Street. This will all be redone except for these little older buildings here. And then on the other side of 116th Street, it goes all the way to South Street to the railroad tracks, and then over to basically the road where Economy Plumbing is.
Okay.
And First Internet Bank will be 6 stories tall.
Oh, wow.
So if we're getting some scale in downtown Fishers, you'll be able to see it from the interstate. If you've seen the renderings, they have this really cool sign they're going to put on the roof. And what I kind of like about that is you have the 4-day array sign over here, and you
Yeah.
have kind of this cool old sign over on this side. So
Right.
it's going to be, I think it's going to be amazing when it's done. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of construction between now and when it's done, but
Yeah.
but you know, that's part of it.
Well, most of it's kind of off 116th Street
Yes,
too, so it
for
won't
sure.
be like impacting too
Agreed.
much traffic. What about this big grain silo? Is that thing going to go away?
That goes away. Yeah, the silo does go away.
That's
But-
not operational, is it?
No, that thing's been sitting empty for, I don't know, as long as I've been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all this redevelopment happening downtown.
Yeah.
Finally, we have that sense of place. We've got.
Yep.
I think everybody's starting to get used to having a place to come downtown.
I think so.
And see
I hope
Fishers.
so.
This was a year, kind of recapping the year. It was a year of big announcements.
Yes.
A lot of groundbreakings, a lot of shovels in dirt,
Yeah.
a lot of renderings.
Right.
What happens next year?
You know, someone asked me that the other day, and next year, I'll never say never because we like to come up with a lot of ideas at City Hall, but I don't know that there'll be a rollout of a bunch of new ideas so much as implementing the ideas that are already before us. So if you start to play the movie forward to 2019, we just talked about a large development here. You also have State Road 37 will be under
Right.
construction. 96th Street will be under construction from Lantern to Cumberland. That'll become 4 lanes. We'll continue to progress kind of the vision of the Geist Park. I don't know that we'll be building Geist Park next year, but we'll continue the dialogue. We'll be doing some dredging out there and things of that nature. The Agra Park, we're going to continue to develop that. We're going to be building a new fire station headquarters. There's 2 office buildings being built behind the North Ellipse, behind the amphitheater.
Mhm.
One's actually broke ground last week. There's projects up at Exit 210 that are being built. I mean, there's going to be a lot of building going on, but they're not new ideas that people haven't heard about that are just being implemented. But I think that's kind of exciting. It's always fun when the finished product gets there, when things start really moving. And so we'll, next year will be busy.
It's probably, it's kind of like our business. We put a magazine out. By the time it actually comes in the mail, it's old news to me because I've already
Yeah.
seen it 2 months ahead of time. For you, it's probably when you see construction or you see things
Yeah.
going up and you see things on Facebook about, oh, look at this new whatever. Does it kind of feel like old news to you?
Yeah.
You're already looking.
Yeah, my personality too, the people that work around me would tell you that by the time we're cutting a ribbon on something, I am so far beyond that particular project and on to something else because the pipeline is so long. Like you even think about the announcement of this project, they won't even be breaking ground until late August, maybe September of next year.
Right.
So we have kind of this big commotion, people talking about this project right now, and then by the natural way of things, it'll die down for months as they go into design and architecture and planning, and then it'll get ramped back up when they first see the first backhoes out here doing work.
Right.
It's just the nature of it.
Yeah. So next year, we also, the big announcements I think next year will be kind of what's going to happen with Geist Park.
Yeah.
This trail outside.
Yes.
There's been a lot of. How was the public input on both of those? I know you guys had some.
It's been great.
Open houses and.
Yeah, it's been great. We've had a lot of good forums, a lot of avenues and opportunities for people of all ages. We've done a lot of engagement with the schools. There's multiple initiatives with students. We get wonderful ideas from the kids. And the trail, what's been so rewarding is to see so many residents come out and give us their ideas and plug in and show a general excitement about it. There's a lot of white noise out there about people who want to keep the train, and what doesn't always get covered nearly as much is how many people are as excited and engaged in the process of figuring out what it can become, which I think is one of the most unique pedestrian experiences that Central Indiana will have. And so I hope in the January, February timeframe we're able to roll out to the community some of the concepts that our team has put together for the trail. And by our team, I mean literally hundreds of Fishers voices that have culminated in this vision.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's kind of fun for the city to be a part of it.
Yes.
Because then they can say, "Oh, I was at that meeting and they were talking about that."
Exactly.
It's actually fun to see it happen. Any ideas that came that you're like, "That's just a terrible idea"? Did you fire hose any ideas?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were 1,700 ideas, so. Law statistics, I'm sure at least 10% of those are not good. But no, I don't know of any specifics.
You don't want to call anybody out.
I don't want to call
on
anybody
camera.
out. No.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, last question.
Yeah.
Holidays. Hudson's first Christmas.
Right.
You guys got any big plans for Christmas this year?
We're not traveling, so I'm grateful for that. My parents are coming into town, and so I think it'll be quiet. It'll be making sure Elf on the Shelf gets where he needs to be. That's a big thing every morning in our house. In fact, this morning the elf found himself in a place that neither myself or Lincoln could find, and so we had to wake up Mom to figure out where Elf might be this morning. But you know, for anybody who has kids, this time of year is always so much fun to see the excitement and energy. It's particularly my 4-year-old. My 11-week-old really doesn't. I mean,
Didn't really care. Right?
No, he just wants to eat and sleep. So
did Lincoln write a letter to Santa Claus this year? And
he
put it in
did.
the mailbox?
Yeah, he dropped it off. Yeah, we know. And he also was kind enough to circle in the catalog what he wanted for Christmas. So
he's thinking ahead. You know,
Yeah.
don't want Santa to bring the wrong thing.
oh, yeah, no, clearly.
He even wrote down the SKU number.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's lately. I was driving him home from daycare last night, and he goes, "Look, the presents truck." And when I realized he's pointing at a UPS truck, so apparently he knows that that's what they do.
Well, listen, you've done a phenomenal job this year, and not just you, the whole team. Fishers has done just a superb job of just taking the city to the next level, and it's just fun to be a part of it. It's fun to be a resident and see it happen in our backyard. But we appreciate all you guys have done, and Ashley, to the rest of the staff as well. Have a great Christmas. We'll sign off. We're going to post some of the letters that were written to Santa. Santa actually shared some of his letters with us. We're actually going to put those in our Fishers magazine this month and share some of those. I don't think Lincoln's made the cut, but there was a few letters that made the cut we're going to put into the magazine. We'll also share those on our Facebook page. But until next time, guys, have a great holiday. Scott, Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you.